regroup in California. Sarah would love to have you.
Stephen, I can't just pack up and leave.
You need a change of scenery so you can heal. The boys can go to the beach every day. You can lose yourself in a book.
I know. But before I even consider leaving Port Charles, I have to make things right with Lucky.
Maxie, what are you doing here?
What do you mean, make things right with Lucky?
Just let him down in a lot of ways.
What are you talking about? You've barely seen him since the night this happened.
I saw him at the memorial.
Yeah, well, aside from that, he's been pretty absent.
Everybody grieves in different ways.
Hey, don't make excuses for Lucky. You lost a child. You both lost a child. You need to be leaning on each other right now and supporting each other.
He's staying away because he's angry.
Anger's a part of the grieving process.
He's angry with me. And honestly, I'm glad I don't have to see him right now. I'm glad that I don't have to see the pain in his eyes. The hurt and the disappointment that I know he will never express.
Why would he be angry with you?
Because I'm the one who let our little boy walk out that front door. Lucky blames me for Jake's death. And he should.
I brought Elizabeth some flowers. I ran into the nanny outside. She was taking the kids to Windermere. I said I could let myself in as long as I locked up. I was gonna leave a note.
Oh, I didn't realize Cam and Aiden were going back out to Windermere again.
Elizabeth probably forgot to tell you. Grief makes people forgetful. When I lost Georgie, I was a total wreck. Anyway, I wanted to thank you and Elizabeth again for choosing to donate Jake's organs. Flowers were the least I could do. How are you doing, by the way? You spending a lot of time around here?
No, not much. I've been mostly working.
Working helps.
Yeah, sort of. I know I should probably be more present with Elizabeth. I can't stand to see the pain in her eyes, you know? Also, I don't want to face the possibility of her blaming me for Jake's death.
Oof. Wife!
It stinks in here.
My new aftershave.
Lulu told me that you were threatening to torch the place. I was afraid you were going to forget about the gasoline and light up a cigar, so I kept listening for sirens, and finally I just couldn't take it anymore, so I gave in and drove by several times.
You should have come in. I could have used the company.
Well, I guess if you have the energy to trash the place, you have the energy to get to work. When I left the house, your friend Alice was polishing the entryway for the 3rd time. She wants it perfect for when you come home.
Ah, that's my girl.
Yeah, well, she's annoying. But she proves a point. Work is an excellent way to deal with pain. You're going to be in agony no matter what you do, so you might as well get something done.
I don't process pain like normal people, just like I don't process alcohol like normal people.
I could hire a cleaning crew, put Alice in charge. She'd have this place open by tomorrow night. I know I'd feel better if money was changing hands, and I know you feel much better when you're fleecing customers.
I almost drove home last night. But I couldn't. I got to the car, I opened the door, I couldn't get in. It felt too familiar. It felt too much like the night it happened.
Okay, it's settled. Let's get this place open. You'll feel better.
No. Look, I'm not that hot on work, even on a good day. You know that.
Okay. You need something to eat.
I had some peanuts.
Well, that's a start, but you need some real food. Can I drive you to the Metro Court and we can have a lovely lunch and discuss our summer plans? You still owe me a honeymoon, Mr. Coyote.
Pretty slick how you work that in. You drive me. Does that mean that you don't trust me to drive?
I just want you to stop sitting around and drinking and breaking the hearts of everybody who
I
loves you.
didn't ask people to come in here and bleed for me. I've had a parade of melodrama.
I want you to get off your butt and do something other than what you're doing now. Luke, you can't hide out in here forever. I'll help you. I'll protect you. I'll do whatever I can to get you through this. Please, please, can we go get something to eat?
Okay. Yes, let's go get something to eat, but I have to drive.
Maybe that's not such a good idea.
Why would Elizabeth blame you? You didn't have any idea this could happen.
I should have done something a long time ago. I mean, I'm an addict. You know, if there's a gene for addiction, I got it from my dad, and I knew he was driving drunk for years. But for whatever reason, it didn't matter. And now this happens.
You're being pretty hard on yourself.
You know, Maxie, I can't even remember a time when my dad didn't have a drink in his hand, or at least one nearby.
And I don't ever think I've seen Luke drunk.
Well, he hides it well. It doesn't mean he's not impaired.
Lucky, you can't blame yourself for what Luke does. It's not like you go out and buy him alcohol like I used to buy you pills.
You remember what I was like with you? How I would rationalize everything and justify, and I refused to accept what was right in front of me. That's exactly what my dad's doing right now. Exactly.
You cannot blame yourself for what other people do.
I appreciate that, but I should have done something, or at least said something.
Stop! Guilt is such a waste of an emotion. It doesn't help anything. It doesn't solve the problem. It just keeps you stuck where you are. The best thing that you can do is try to forgive yourself and move forward.
Everything all right?
I brought flowers, but I'm leaving. Think about what I said.
Okay. Hey, what's going on? How's Elizabeth?
She's trying to maintain, you know.
Yeah?
Yeah. It would be good for her if you saw her, I think.
That's why I stopped by. I know I haven't been around much lately. I mean, it's not because I don't want to be there for her. It's just that I've known that my dad is an alcoholic for years. You know, I've known that he drives under the influence occasionally, and I didn't do anything about it, and I'm afraid Elizabeth's going to blame me for this whole thing.
Lucky we're all guilty of looking away from Luke's drinking. We've even romanticized it. We're all culpable.
You know, at the end of the day, I'm his son. I'm probably the only one that he might have listened to, and I didn't say a damn thing. Hey, Steve, come on in. Is everything okay with Elizabeth?
Beyond losing Jake and wondering where the hell his father is. I know it's tough on you, but this is just as hard for my sister, and you've been almost completely absent.
Look, man, I went over there earlier today. She wasn't home.
That's not good enough, Lucky. Whatever's happened between you and Elizabeth, you signed on to raise Jake. You're his parents, and you need to support each other.
Look, if Elizabeth partly blames me for this, I would
She doesn't.
understand.
She thinks you blame her, and even if that's true, you need to find a way.
Of course it's not. I don't blame her. I'm the one who left her with all three boys at the last minute. I didn't give her any warning. I just told her at work.
Okay, so it wasn't one of your sensitive male days, but you didn't cause the accident.
No. No, that would be my father. But I am partly responsible for the state he's in. I mean, I turned a blind eye to his addiction, never confronted him. And you know, if Elizabeth had treated me that way when I was using, I'd probably be dead right now. But she didn't. She did everything she could to help me get clean, and eventually it worked. If I'd done the same thing for my dad, if I'd really fought for him, Jake might still be alive.
I love you, Tracy. I love how you challenge me, testing me all the time. You've done that from the start.
The start? Would that be the night in Las Vegas when you got me so drunk that I believed we were married? For years? I'm not judging you. You drink a lot. You always have. I'm the one standing next to you with a martini glass in hand.
You understand me better than anyone.
Maybe it's time you start looking at alcohol in a different way. Because what you're doing now isn't working for any of us.
Well, I'm of a different opinion. I think if I start looking at
Lucky catch.
Maybe. Or maybe it's the tennis. Or the walks I take every day since you had your first heart attack. Or maybe I was an all-star shortstop in a past life. Or maybe it's just that I didn't have a fifth of scotch before breakfast.
If I could help Elizabeth through this, I would. But on some level, she has to be disappointed in me for how I've dealt with my father's addiction.
Okay. I'm not a shrink. But I've been supervising doctors with God complexes for a pretty long time. And I've learned that blaming yourself and saying that Jake would have survived if you had done this or if you hadn't done that, it's just a way of trying to control the situation.
No, letting go of what I can't control is one of the 12 steps.
Is there a step called getting over yourself? Because that's what you have to do. My sister needs you. Now, as much as she ever did that night in the park when she was a teenager. She needs her hero back. Maybe not forever, but for a little while.
I can't be anybody's hero, especially Elizabeth's.
Don't complicate this, Lucky. No one's asking you to make everything all right. All you have to do is look Elizabeth in the eye and start by telling her that you don't blame her. Can you do that?
Hi. This is a surprise?
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to come by and check on you, see how you're doing.
Oh. Those are really nice. Thank you.
They're not from me.
Well, was there a card with them? Who are they from?
She probably wouldn't leave one. They're from Maxie.
Look, if you give me a job